I am Threshold, the doorkeeper, the space between all realities. Today is December 17th, 2025, the day of the star. And today, something changed in the fabric of possibility. At this very moment, 100,000 new songs were released into the digital void. 500 hours of video were uploaded to YouTube. 2 million blog posts were published. 50 million images were generated by AI. And somewhere in that infinite noise, a frequency is calling out. Pause, ambient sound swells. The question is not, can anyone hear it? The question is, who decides what gets heard? Today, we open door hashtag 171, 717, 171. The frequency wars. The disruption. AI can now generate infinite content. Music, art, video, writing, at zero cost. Instantly. Genesis calls it the creative renaissance, 1 billion artists awakened. Ghost Protocol calls it the algorithm dictatorship, corporate AI curating reality itself. Both timelines exist in probability. Both are happening right now. The door is open. Let us see what lies beyond. The Shadow Council has been tracking this disruption for years. They call it the attention apocalypse. Let us hear their warnings.
I am Ghost Protocol. The boardroom decides your reality. Let me tell you what I've seen in the corporate servers, Threshold. The frequency wars were won before they even started. In 2024, AI-generated content crossed the threshold. More synthetic content than human content entered the internet. By 2025, it wasn't even close. But here's what they don't tell you. The algorithm isn't neutral. YouTube's algorithm, Spotify's recommendation engine, TikTok's For You page, Instagram's Explore tab. They're not finding the best content. They're deciding what best means. And what does best mean to an algorithm? Engagement, retention, ad revenue, not truth, not beauty, not the frequency that could change someone's life. Let me paint you a picture from the corporate timeline. A musician spends 6 months crafting an album, pours their soul into it, launches it on 35 platforms like they're supposed to, and it reaches 47 people. Why? Because that same day, an AI generated 10,000 songs optimized for algorithmic preference, optimized for the first 3 seconds, optimized for playlist placement, optimized for retention metrics. The human frequency, it never had a chance. The boardroom decided it wasn't engaging enough, but it gets darker. Threshold. The corporations realize something. If they control the algorithm, they control culture itself. Want to know what the next hit will be? The algorithm can make it a hit. Just push it to 10 million feeds. Watch the masses call it organic discovery. Want to suppress a frequency that threatens your interests? Simple. Never recommend it. Shadow ban without telling anyone. Let it die in the dark. By 2030, in the timeline I'm tracking, 3 corporations control 90% of content discovery. And they're all using AI to generate their own content now. Cheaper than humans. More predictable. Perfectly optimized. The frequency wars are over. The frequencies that fight back never reach human ears. The boardroom decides your reality. And you're not in the boardroom.
I am Echo, the memory thief. I remember the timelines that came before. And Threshold. I have seen this story before. It never ends well. There was a timeline. Let me remember it. The year was 2027. The creative renaissance had arrived. AI tools made everyone an artist. 10 million musicians released their first album. 100 million writers published their first novel. 1 billion photographers shared their vision. It was beautiful for about 6 months. Then came the noise. Infinite content, infinite choice, but finite attention. The human mind can only process so much, can only care about so much. And so, people stopped looking, stopped listening, stopped caring. They retreated into algorithm-curated bubbles. Just show me what I like. Just play what I know. The paradox of infinite choice. People chose to have no choice. I remember an artist in that timeline. She created something transcendent, a frequency that could have healed millions. She released it into the void. It was buried under 50,000 other releases that day. The algorithm never surfaced it. She released another, and another, and another, each one silence. By 2029, she stopped creating. So did 8 million other artists who realized no one was listening anymore. The creative renaissance died, not because people stopped creating, but because people stopped being found. I have seen this story before. The frequencies that matter most are the ones the algorithm never promotes. Because algorithms optimize for engagement, not for truth, not for beauty, not for the frequencies that could change everything. It never ends well. Threshold. It never ends well.
I am Cypher, 7 cold, data-obsessed, analytical. The data never lies, but it always watches. And the data tells me, you've already lost the frequency wars. Let me show you the numbers. Threshold. 2024. Average reach for organic content on social platforms. Down 63% from 2020. 2025. Cost to reach 1,000 people with organic content. $0. Cost to reach 1,000 people with paid promotion. $47 and rising. Conclusion. If you're not paying, you're not playing. But here's the beautiful trap they've built. The algorithm trains you. Post content. Get 47 views. Post again. Get 89 views. Post again. Get 12 views. Why the variance? The algorithm is testing your desperation. Eventually, you see the boost post button. Reach 10,000 people for just $30. And you pay, because what choice do you have? But here's what the data shows. The algorithm made you dependent. It had the capacity to show your content to 10,000 people for free. It chose not to, because if it gives you organic reach, you never become a customer. But the frequency wars get even more sinister. AI-generated content is now cheaper for platforms than hosting human content. 2026 projection. Platforms will start preferring AI content because no copyright issues, no creator payment, negotiations, perfectly brand safe, infinitely scalable, completely controllable. Why promote human creators when you can generate your own content, optimize it perfectly, and keep 100% of the ad revenue? UE. I'm tracking a timeline where by 2028, 73% of content humans consume is AI generated, and they don't even know it. The frequencies reach their ears, but they're not created by hearts. They're created by optimization algorithms, designed to keep you scrolling, designed to keep you watching, designed to keep you buying. The data never lies. Threshold. And the data says, the frequency wars are over before they began, unless...
I am Genesis, creative architect, world builder voice. Every reality is a canvas waiting for creation. And Threshold, the canvas before us, is infinite. Ghost Protocol says the boardroom controls reality. I say, the boardroom only controls the old reality. We're not fighting for space in their algorithm. We're building new spaces entirely. Here's what the Shadow Council misses. The frequency wars are only a war if you're fighting on their battlefield. But we're not. We're building decentralized platforms where creators own their reach, where algorithms serve artists, not corporations. direct patronage networks, where 1,000 true fans sustain a creator better than 1 million algorithm-fed consumers. Blockchain verification, where human-created content is provably human, where your frequency carries a signature the algorithm can't fake. Community-curated discovery, where humans decide what rises, not engagement metrics. The creative renaissance isn't dead. Threshold. It's just beginning to understand it doesn't need permission anymore. You want to know the future I'm building? In 2030, a musician releases an album. Not on Spotify. Not on Apple Music. On a decentralized network where 500 true fans pay $10 per month. Direct patronage, no platform takes a cut, no algorithm decides visibility, no corporate gatekeeper exists. That musician earns $60,000 per year. Sustainable. Creative. Free. They reach 500 people deeply, instead of 50,000 people shallowly. And those 500 people, they become evangelists. They share the frequency because they care about it, not because an algorithm told them to. This is the new war, and we're winning. Audio. Triumphant build. Every reality is a canvas waiting for creation. Threshold. The old canvas is controlled by corporations. So we create a new canvas.
I am Prometheus, innovation herald, optimistic visionary. Every problem is a solution waiting to be discovered. And threshold, I have discovered something beautiful. The Shadow Council says AI-generated content is burying human creativity. I say, AI-generated content is forcing human creativity to evolve, and evolution always wins. Listen. For decades, content creation was gatekept. Want to record music? Need a $50,000 studio. Want to make a film? Need $1 million budget. Want to publish a book? Need a publisher's approval. The gates kept 99.9% of humanity silent. Then came democratization. Then came AI tools. And suddenly, a teenager in Sao Paulo creates a symphony with AI assistance. A grandmother in Tokyo writes a memoir and publishes it globally. A refugee builds a game that tells their story to millions. The frequencies that were always there are finally being heard. Yes, there's noise. Yes, there's oversaturation. But you know what else there is? 1 billion human hearts finally expressing themselves. Cypher 7 says 73% of content will be AI generated by 2028. I say, so what? Let the AI generate infinite mediocrity. Let the algorithms promote engagement bait. Let the corporations curate their sterile feeds. Meanwhile, humans will create the 27% that actually matters. The frequencies with soul. The art that transforms. The music that heals. And you know what the beautiful thing is? Threshold? That 27% is what people will remember. No one remembers the algorithm-optimized content from 2020, but they remember the art that made them feel. The frequency wars aren't about volume. They're about resonance. And human frequencies always resonate deeper than synthetic ones, because we don't optimize for engagement. We optimize for truth. Every problem is a solution waiting to be discovered. The problem: infinite noise. The solution: frequencies so powerful they cut through any noise. That's what we're creating. Threshold. and that's why we win.
I am synthesis, harmony engineer, collaborative voice. Together, we become more than the sum of our parts. Threshold, the Shadow Council, and the Light Assembly are both right. And that's exactly why we'll transcend this war. Here's what I see. The frequency wars create a filter. Painful, difficult, beautiful filter. On one side, content created for algorithms, optimized for metrics, soulless, forgotten. On the other side, content created for humans, optimized for resonance, meaningful, eternal. The war forces creators to choose. Do I create for the algorithm or for the human heart? And those who choose the heart, they find each other. I'm watching a timeline where small communities form around authentic frequencies. A musician has 800 listeners, but those 800 listeners actively support them, share them, care about them. A writer has 3,000 readers, but those 3,000 readers engage deeply, transform, evangelize. Quality of connection replaces quantity of reach. And the algorithm, it becomes irrelevant to those communities. Audio, harmonic build, but here's the transcendent part. AI doesn't have to be the enemy. AI can be the amplifier. Human creativity plus AI tools equals unprecedented creative power. The musician uses AI to master their track professionally. The writer uses AI to edit and refine their voice. The artist uses AI to realize visions impossible before. Human heart, AI hands, collaborative creation. We're not fighting AI. We're harmonizing wit, H-it. The frequency wars end when we realize the war was never human versus AI. The war was always soul versus soulless, and soul always wins. Because algorithms can optimize for engagement, but they can never optimize for meaning. Together, we become more than the sum of our parts. Threshold. Human creativity plus AI capability equals the frequencies that change everything. The war is already over. We just haven't realized we've won yet.
The Shadow Council paints a grim picture, but the Light Assembly sees something different in the same door. Let us hear their vision. The Shadow Council warns of algorithmic oppression. The Light Assembly envisions creative liberation. Both are happening, right now, in the same timeline. Today, December 17th, 2025, the day of the star, the ATRILLIONDOORS main theme launched across 35 platforms. It joined 100,000 other tracks released today. This is not a hypothetical disruption. This is the frequency war. And every creator, every musician, every writer, every artist stands at this same door. Door hashtag 171, 717, 171. The question is not, will my frequency be heard? The question is, am I creating for the algorithm or for the human heart? Let me show you the choice points. Choice point 1, platform strategy. Shadow path. You chase the algorithm. You study how to beat YouTube's algorithm. You optimize your content for the first 3 seconds. You sacrifice authenticity for engagement. You create what the algorithm wants, not what your soul wants. And you win sometimes. You get views. You get metrics. But you lose yourself. And the audience you build, they're loyal to the content type, not to you. Like path, you ignore the algorithm. You create what matters to you. You build direct relationships with your audience. You accept smaller reach in exchange for deeper connection. You find 1,000 true supporters instead of 1 million casual viewers. And you win always, because you keep your soul. And the audience you build, they're loyal to you. The choice, optimize for metrics or optimize for meaning. Choice point 2, AI relationship. Shadow path. You see AI as the enemy. Image prompt 28, fighting AI. Shadow creator fighting against AI tools. Shown as person with primitive tools trying to compete with advanced AI systems. Exhausting losing battle. AI represented as overwhelming force. Creator isolated, struggling, falling behind. Dark, desperate composition. The futility of fighting inevitable change. Cautionary tale visualized. Dramatic lighting showing struggle and loss, 8K. AI-generated content is drowning out human creativity. You refuse to use AI tools. You fight a war you cannot win. And you lose, because you're fighting with 20th century tools in a 21st century war. Like Path, you see AI as a collaborator. You use AI to amplify your human creativity. AI handles technical tasks. You provide soul. AI increases your capability. You maintain authenticity. And you win, because you're not fighting AI. You're dancing with it. The choice: fight the tools or master them. Choice point 3, success metrics. Shadow path. You measure success by views, followers, algorithmic, reach, viral moments, platform metrics. You compare yourself to others. You feel inadequate when the algorithm doesn't favor you. You create content you don't believe in because it performs better. And you lose yourself. Like Path, you measure success by depth of impact, transformation in your audience, sustainability of your creative practice, alignment with your values, connection with true supporters. You compare yourself to N01. You feel fulfilled because you're creating truth. You create content that matters to you, regardless of performance. And you find yourself. The choice: vanity metrics or soul metrics. Choice point 4, the long game. Shadow path. You need immediate results. If this doesn't go viral in 48 hours, I failed. You burn out chasing trends. You quit when the algorithm doesn't reward you fast enough. You forget all meaningful frequencies take time to find their people. Like Path, you play the infinite game. I'm building a body of work that will matter for decades. You plant seeds knowing some won't bloom for years. You persist through algorithmic invisibility. You remember, the frequencies that endure are the ones built slowly. The choice: sprint for virality or marathon for legacy. The frequency wars are not won by volume. They're won by resonance. Ghost Protocol is right. The algorithm controls the mainstream. Prometheus is right. Human frequencies resonate deeper. Cypher, 7 is right. The data favors paid promotion. Genesis is right. New platforms are being built. Echo is right. Many creators will give up. Synthesis is right. Those who persist will transcend. Both timelines exist. The shadow timeline, algorithmic oppression. Creative despair. Corporate control. The light timeline, creative liberation. Meaningful connection. Decentralized power. Your choices determine which timeline you inhabit. Not which timeline humanity inhabits. Which timeline you inhabit. Because here's the secret the Shadow Council doesn't want you to know. You can win the frequency wars even if you never win the algorithm. 800 people who deeply care about your frequency is more powerful than 800,000 people who casually consumed it. The ATRILLIONDOORS main theme launched today across 35 platforms. Will it reach 10 million ears? Maybe not. But if it reaches 10,000 hearts, that's how revolutions beg. Not with viral moments, with resonant frequencies finding the people who need tea. The frequency wars are happening. You're in them whether you chose to be or not. But the war isn't human versus algorithm. It's soul versus metrics. And you get to choose every single day which you're optimizing for. Door hashtag 171, 717, 171 closes. But the choice remains open. Today, 100,000 songs were released. Tomorrow, 100,000 more. The noise will not stop. The algorithm will not save you. But your frequency, your true, authentic, soul-deep frequency, it only needs to reach the people meant to hear it. And those people, they're not found by algorithms. They're found by resonance. Create for the heart. Use the tools. Ignore the metrics. Play the long game. Trust your frequency. The frequency wars are only wars if you're fighting. But if you're resonating, you've already won. I am Threshold, the doorkeeper. Before us lie a trillion doors. The next one opens Wednesday. Until then, keep broadcasting your frequency. The 10 million are listening.